Hello, welcome back to Kitchen Talk. I think this is episode 5. You'll be able to see here we've got the great Ciaran Franco in the kitchen with us this week. We did record a podcast before, obviously, and that was fucked. That was completely my bad. I didn't know that my £20 microphones couldn't record two people at once. But it's great to have you here, Ciaran.
Cheers.
How's it going?
Pepsi Max is hitting different. It sounds like a shout out, but the man who's a wee bit fragile, like it's doing the business.
We are sponsored by Pepsi Max, by the way.
I'll be the sponsor, like.
So you are a bit down. Obviously, your gig last night in the Beehive.
Yeah, and then I was going to leave, and my cousin, who runs the place, went, "There's 6 pints in the pump for you, if you want them." And I went, "I'll maybe have 1 or 2," and then had all 6, and then got on there.
What do you mean 6 pints in the pump? Is that something they can measure?
So basically, he just told the barman if he comes, he's got 6 pints.
Oh, right.
On me paid. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
I thought it was like there's like a screen behind the bar. It says 6 pumps.
Because I was going like, yeah, and he was like, so then I was like, I'm not going to drink all 6. And then I went, by the time I got to 4, I was like, might as well just go for it here. And then it was on blackcurrant with Smirnoff Ice.
What?
Fucking great, like, as well.
I know there are 2 things you can mix Guinness with.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think with the Guinness, you put blackcurrant in it. I don't know what it's called, but if you put Smirnoff Ice in a Guinness, it's called a Bodger, because they sort of separate because they're 2 different viscosities. Like the Guinness sits on top of the Smirnoff Ice, or it might be the other way. No, yeah, the Guinness sits on top of the Smirnoff Ice, so it's like it looks like a Bodger. Fuck knows what it tastes like, to be honest.
I know. I'm not one of them people who's like, oh, Guinness needs to be distilled to the finest. Yeah, like they're the
Give
worst.
me
Give me
13 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
I've only recently started getting into Guinness, you know.
It is like I remember like I was in a golf club with my dad, and he was like, "How's the Guinness today?" Asking the barman, and just fucking drink it. You twat. Like,
now you do go places and the Guinness can be stinking. But
yeah.
it's like any pint. If you go somewhere and the like Harp, for example, not the Harp bar, but the pint Harp, you go somewhere and it's flat or it's shite. You know what I mean? It's not. But no one gets on like, "Oh, what's the Harp like today, mate?"
But do you ever get where you get like a glass and the glass is obviously up in Wall Street and there's a fucking hang off it and that's the worst tasting. And only recently have I started being a bit of a Ciaran and going up and being like, I'd like this back, like, I'd like a fresh pint. But I done it in black box on Thursday, and the girl was like, right, I'll fill it, and she started pouring me like samples from new glasses and going, smell that, no, and like taste that, is it sweet? And it was holding up a queue of people, and I was like, what?
You were like a sommelier at the top of the queue, swirling it around your nose and all.
So I just want a pint of Haverty, like.
I actually was in the bar one time, and one of my mates, I got a pint of Carlsberg, and I'm not fussy, I won't go up, I don't like confrontation. Yeah. And I was like, this pint actually tastes like piss. It was rotten, but it was like so bad that I would have complained, you know, if it was that type of person. And I had to give it to my mate, and he's like a big tall fella, so I just like his son going up behind him, being like, "Can you get my pint changed for me?"
It is like it should be, because you're paying now, and especially nowadays, like 6-7 quid a pint. It's like,
do not get me started on the price of pints, Ciaran. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's like you should be getting it at top quality, like.
It's insane. And I was actually talking to one of my mates earlier on, and he drinks bottles when he goes out. Yeah. But for the price you're paying for a bottle, you may as well just get a fucking pint.
Oh yeah, no, like a bottle, especially bottles. Most places you're limited to like what, Corona or Coors Light.
Peroni as well. You either allow Peroni somewhere, but like, you know what I mean, you're paying like 5 quid odd for a bottle. What is that all about? It's insane. And I was talking. One of my mates lives in Liverpool, and they can get 2 pints for 7 quid.
That's fucking
You're
ridiculous.
Getting a pint for that in town somewhere.
I remember my student union. It was tenants or Fosters were your options, but it was £2 a pint.
Fuck, the student union. What one are you like?
Northumbria. I went to
Fuck,
Newcastle.
all right, okay. I went to uni in Liverpool for a year, and we found a bar that was like on like Matthew Street, like a big like touristy part of Liverpool. Yeah. And they did carling for $1.60 a pint. I swear to fuck, £1.60, and for £1.60, I drink your piss if it got me.
Oh yeah, my flatmate, like he's from Yorkshire, you know, fucking yeah. Go and put kettle on. He loves carling, like. So
it's not a bad beer. Yeah. It's not a bad beer. Like, I won't stand for the hate on it.
You know what? I'd rather have a. I came in because he would order like a 15 slab of carling, and it's like fucking. But when I've got in steaming, and one night there was Madry or carling, and I took a fucking carling over Madry. I was like,
really?
Yeah, I fucking hate Madry.
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna go on a rant here. I hate the way it's branded as like this Spanish beer, and it's done so well that people have been gaslit into thinking it's from Spain because it's got a photo of some wee fucking Spanish farmer on it. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's brewed in the same. It's brewed in by Coors. It's like in the same place that Carling's made, more or less.
It's Burton or somewhere in.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, in England, like somewhere in the middle of the Grim Midlands, like.
It just came out of nowhere as well. It's just all of a sudden, fucking Madrid was everywhere.
Yeah, because I remember it was after lockdown, and this must be like a Madrid beer and all, and I mean the mates and stuff. And then I went. I was chatting to someone from Spain, and she was like, "We don't have that in there." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And she was like, "It's just a completely made up thing." Like,
what do they? They drink Mao.
There's two. There's like a green one and a red one. But when did Dortmund play Bayern Munich in the Champions League final?
It was 2 years. No, was that 3 years ago maybe?
No, we would have been like 15, 16, but I was in.
Oh right. Oh Dortmund. Oh, I thought it was Dortmund Real Madrid.
It was last year. Yeah. I think
that's
that's the first experience I had drinking and watching that, and it
Mal?
just like it blew the head off
it's
me.
Great.
Like, yeah.
They do it in this. There's a hotel near Anfield called Hotel Anfield. Funny enough, but they do like things on before the match.
Yeah.
And we were there for the Champions League final. The one we got beat by Madrid, and they were selling it, and it was fucking. It is great. It's just so easy to drink. Yeah. I think most. Do you know what? The one beer that I love in a bottle, but I don't like a pint of it. Corona. I don't know why.
I love an old Corona, like it's just when you're starting off the night.
Yeah,
nice and easy.
Nice light beer. Are you lime in or lime out?
Lime in.
Lime in.
Yeah.
It has to be lime in for me. It completely changes the taste of it.
Yeah, but it's like. No, this is another thing. You can put blackcurrant in. Some people put a wee bit of blackcurrant in their Corona as well.
Oh no, they don't.
Sort of. I sort of fuck like yeah.
I know people put they make like a cocktail out of it. They put like tequila and like grenadine or orange or some sort of like fruit juice in it.
Yeah.
They make is it a tequila sunrise or a Corona sunrise? I don't know. But you can make like change it like goes like an orangey red colour.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
It's like, what's the one? It's like a big fucking frozen daiquiri, and then there's just a Corona stuck on the top of it.
Oh, I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're like £3 in Tenerife or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The size of your head.
Like I'm going to Barca here, like basically tonight. I'm just fucking dreading it, like, but the flight, it's just, once I arrive there, I'll be sweet, but it's just...
Do you prefer to go early on, like you said you're going in the morning, do you prefer to go early, like on an early flight so that you've got the whole day ahead of you?
Yeah, but when I booked it, I was like, I should have probably just gone down to Dublin the night before, stayed with my brother, done something out there, but I've got a gig tonight, so I'm like, it's going to be a whole fucking handling, like, but the minute I arrive, it's going to be 20 degrees, we pint of Australia, a few tapas, and then...
Well, will you be having a few beverages tonight at the gig?
Maybe one or two, like
yeah,
I might like if the gig's 9 o'clock, 2 beers, put me to sleep, get up about 1 in the morning, then get the bus down. So 4 hours.
2 beers to go to sleep is the perfect amount. I tell you, I will after Kiltoddy, we'll go on that in a second. But after Kiltoddy last week, obviously the Asahis were flowing in the black box. But when I got home, obviously Rory was about to win the Masters, and I thought I'll treat myself. I cracked open 2 of those fucking IPAs I've got out the back, and I'm a dangerous man with a beer in bed, I'll tell you that much. I was spilling it all over myself, and all. I had my phone on me, God knows what I was saying to people. I was texting people like, you have no idea how much it means to us that Rory's won this.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't watch golf ever. Like
I was like, because my flatmate's English as well, he was like proper cheering on Justin Rose, and I was like, I'd love to just chin you right now.
It was exciting though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it was insane. Like, and then I showed up proper, like, I'd been out the night before, so that Kiltoddy thing, I was just like not feeling it at all. And you said to me, like, do you want a pint? And that pint kind of brought me round again. Yeah. And I was like, right, I'm good. I'm ready.
You were like a fucking deer in the headlights when you first got down to the black box. Like, you were all over the show.
Like, my dad was like driving me down, going, "You alright?" No, and I was like, "Nah." And he goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I was just like, he would drive me to a lot of gigs sometimes, and normally I'm quite calm and stuff. And he was like, "You don't seem yourself at all." And then so we sort of talked about this the last pod where it was like, I don't really drink at gigs, but that one was like, I need something, just take the edge off.
And so we'll talk about that gig. Obviously, for those who don't know, Kiltoddy was an event run by Shane Todd in the Black Box there last Sunday, and there's a lot of context needed for this, but it's basically like his version of Kill Tony, which is a podcast where comedians sign up. If their name gets pulled out of a bucket, they get 1 minute of stand up, and then they get interviewed by a panel. That's the quickest I think I could describe it.
That's fucking very well done. Yeah. You probably got a nice position where you were pulled. Well, not first. There were 2 other names pulled. Neither of them were there. Yeah.
And I sort of see after the first one wasn't pulled, I was like, thank fuck it wasn't me. And then the second one wasn't pulled. I don't know what it was. I got this feeling in my head. I was like, this is gonna fucking be me here. Yeah. And it was. But it was good crack. I didn't really do a minute. I came in short at 35 seconds. Which is not a problem if there's any ladies listening. It's not not a problem I ever have, know what I mean? I usually come right on time.
But you sort of do. You've done the right thing where it was like 2 stories basically. But perfect. Like
just 2. I was like, I could, because they asked me, did I want to do more? And I was like, well, no, because the first 2 jokes went well. Why would I want to risk?
Yeah,
we're fucking it up here.
But I think that's what, like, and then obviously you have the bit of back and forth for them on the panel and all as well.
But the thing about it is, like, a minute is hard to write.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it suits. Obviously, there was a guy there, Cahir O'Hagan. Big love to Cahir O'Hagan. He's unbelievable. He's a one-liner comedian, and his style is very good. But it suits that style. And I remember I was speaking to him before, and he was saying, "I've got 5 written down. If it goes well, I'll only do 3." So, and he did only do 3, and I was like, "That's fucking insane that he could do that, like time that well."
It's like Johnny Bow, who's in our one-liner.
Yeah.
I think he told me it's a ridiculous amount. I think it's like 80 jokes for an hour show or something like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. And it was like, so you sit and remember 80. Thankfully, he kind of has the prop of the book and stuff out there, but it's still like, because if you get because he has them in order in a specific way, and if you forget one in the order, it could just mess up the whole rhythm of it.
I'd love to look at that book, because I always think, like, that can't be the first book. There has to be the second book.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Because Johnny was like the first guy that, like, I sort of spoke to when I arrived. Like, I arrived to do my first gig, and he was there in the crowd, like, and he was just sort of sitting chatting away to me and all, and he was sort of like, kind of like I was on Sunday. He was like, "Are you alright, mate?" Because I was wearing like a bright yellow shirt, and he was like, "You're fucking sweating for it." Like, I looked like if Woody from Toy Story really let himself go. I was like, "Fucking yeah." It was before the I went into the green room, was chatting to them, and like William the day before had sort of slagged me for my small talk. Because we were just sitting there, and I went, "How nice is Pepsi?" And William, when he was, "Is this you attempting to come across as a human?" And then William was like, I was sort of just slagging me, being like, "Have you practiced your small talk in the mirror and all?" So when we got up, I was like, it was something I was able to chat away to them about, like, because sometimes, like, I mean, there's been times I've been in car journeys with comedians, and
like, especially because usually it's going to a gig that's far away.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you talk about here for 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's my
like,
big worry as well.
Yeah, because you're sure like, or do right if you know them well enough that you can talk about gigs, you sure like war stories, whatever. But other ones, I'm sitting there like. So who's your favourite Nazi? You know.
It's obviously Goebbels.
Yeah, I was like, sitting there like, well, yeah. So I'm like, because we were even talking about it earlier on, like there was a gig I drove back with a guy from Derry, and it's always Derry. One of them, he made me rap in the car with him.
Fuck off!
And I was like,
he didn't tell me his.
It was a different guy, this guy, but he was like, and he's been around for a while, and he's done all these comedy courses to become a better actor, whatever. He paid paid for all these sort of like writing courses and stuff. So he told me, he was like, the minute he goes, "Can I see your material?" And I was like, he read from my material in the car and went, cut that. But I was like 4 gigs in, and he was like, "You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that." And it was, when you walk on stage, have a drink that you're comfortable with. Set the drink on the stage. He goes, "Take your time. Put the page down." And he goes, "Pretend, have a wee look at the notes. Sit, look at the audience for a couple seconds, then do your material." And I was like, "What the fuck is this guy on about?" Like,
sounds like the most unnatural thing. You have to tell me who that is after.
Yeah, I was sitting there.
Is
like,
he still about?
Yeah, kind of, but like every now and then. But
would I know him?
I don't think so.
It's weird. I was actually wanted to ask you when you mentioned it there. What do you think about people doing like courses like that? Because I've seen them advertised in like those in that like comedians page before. You know, people have been doing like workshops and things like that. Do you think it's beneficial? Not that I'm interested in doing them. I don't think they are.
I don't think so. No, this because this same guy told me he seen me and he was like, "I like your act, but what you're missing is like a bit more presence on stage." And I was like, "All right, okay." And he was like, "But do this course and it'll help you out."
It's like Tom Smith.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually pyramid schemed, so I fucking signed up to this.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was like signed up to this course, and it was like with this clown workshop, so it wasn't to make you more sort of silly and all that there. And it was the biggest load of shite I've ever done in my life. I stopped going after 3 weeks. And
how much was it?
£250, and I was like, "What the fuck am I like?" Just complete shite of like, you know, put your finger on your nose and then do that there while repeating your name and stuff. And I'm going, Ciaran. And this is like, I started just after lockdown, so it's in Zoom, and my dad came in and was like, it was just one where I was sitting in my parents' computer room, lying on the floor like this. I was like, if my dad walks in now, he'll fucking kick my head in. Like,
I bought a book. I bought a book before, and it was actually Joey Diaz recommended it in his book. But I was like, are they like teamed up or something?
Yeah.
But I got it, and it was like how to write better jokes, and I was like, I don't think you can teach someone how to write better jokes.
Yeah.
You can either write jokes or you can't, and there's obviously a style to it, I suppose, but that's not something you can teach. It's more something that you have to watch.
Yeah, there was a period, like, especially when, like, about a year after I started, and a lot of acts sort of came through and they'd done like a comedy course, But the guy taught them all his style. So you had 6 acts coming through, all basically doing the exact same style.
That's true as well, obviously, because everyone has their own individual style on it.
Yeah, and you could almost point out immediately who'd been taught by this guy. Because it was like
six of the exact same act.
Yeah, it was like it's the same sort of style. There was always a longer pause. There were lots like they spoke slower than maybe I speak too fast. Like, and
Do you think so?
Recently there was an act called, and a shout out to him, called John Maher, who done Kiwis, and we drove him up, and the whole way he gave me a lot of great advice. And I asked him, I was like, "Will you watch my full set and just give me advice?" And he just said the problem is that you just speak far too fast, so many of your jokes are being lost and not being allowed to breathe and stuff.
Yeah, actually, whenever I did Pavilion one time, I sent the recording to William, and he said the same thing to me, that I had been speaking too quickly. Yeah, I know that I speak fast in general anyway. Do you know what I mean?
But like, that's one thing that's William is class. Just straight advice. That he doesn't dick around. He doesn't be like. He'll just tell you exactly how it is, and that's sort of what you want as well. Like,
good time to point out that William is actually our guest on the podcast next week. So he is. So tune in for that one. Our first blue check mark. You don't have a blue check, do you?
No, I'm gonna go and pay for one here.
That's right. You can just pay for them on Instagram, can't you?
There's a lot of like, if you pay for one, I'm like, oh, and then I check that you've got like 1,000 followers. Like, what are you at? Like,
I was thinking, like, well, you know, it might be. It's one of those things where like, you're not gonna fool anyone by the blue check. Do you know what I mean? I did get. I will say this now. Shane Todd did tag me in the photo from the Kill Toddy event, and I went viral. I think I got 30 whole followers. And I thought, fucking yeah, I've made the big time here.
It's like I don't know. Like, I was remember Andy Ryan when I just started done his pod, and it kind of, we were on about talking about comedy, but I was talking about OCD instead, and I got, like, my OCD. And I got quite deep and stuff, and I don't know where I started talking about like my mum taking me to hospital when I was like 12 or whatever. God. But I got loads of followers from people mailing me being like,
sorry for you.
I think that was really brave of you to talk about it. No? I went on to talk about stand up, and he was like, "And did your mum like notice that you were like acting weirder than other kids and all?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I mean, it was like doing patterns in my head and all that there, and it was struggling to make mates and all." So if you ever watch this, like. And he was like, "You must have a really great mum and all." So people were following me and then messaging me, asking about my mum and all. And I was like, "The fuck's going on here?" Like,
getting sympathy followers.
Yeah. I thought I was going on to talk about stand up.
Your comedy's shite, but your mum's a real trooper. So she is.
She's a great lady. I was sitting there like, oh. So then, because remember then I went on it again in September, and I was like, "Is this going to be round 2 of my mom?" Bring my mom.
I found myself on Shane's podcast yesterday. And Shane threw me off. I was telling you earlier on that I had this problem of not wanting to come across like I'm trying too hard to be funny, but also you want to obviously be funny. And he was like, "You seem like a sleepover guy." And I was like, I have this like, well, I don't know, no one will have watched both, but I was saying that in primary school I was mates with these 2 fellas, and they basically had a sleepover. They always would have had sleepovers. And one night they had a sleepover without me on a Saturday night, and then went to Sunday school the next day. And it's because I wouldn't go to Sunday school that they stopped being my friend. And I told this on the podcast, and I was like, in my head, this is a funny story. And then whenever I said it out loud, I was like, it just sounds like I'm trauma dumping the Shane here, to be honest. It just didn't come across right at all.
Do you still know the boys now?
Yeah, I do. One of them's a PT. I haven't spoke to him, but one of them, he's sort of like friends with one of my friends, and I've partied with him a few times. And I've said to him, like, what's the fucking... And he lied about he knows who he is. I'm not going to say it. He knows who he is. He lied to me at one point when we were in primary school about his level on RuneScape. And I always bring it up to him. I'm like, you told me you were level 70 odd and you were only level 40. And it's because I was only level like 60 or something. He wanted to one up me. And he lied about it. He was like, it must be a glitch on RuneScape. Did you ever play RuneScape?
Once, and it just drove me mad. Like, it was one of the games where I could never get into, like, because I tried getting into World of Warcraft, could never get into it. I was always big into sort of GTA. COD was the main one, obviously. And then
are you a gamer? I don't know if I've ever asked you this.
I played a bit of Marvel Rivals.
Oh mate, fuck me, now we're talking.
Yeah. And then see the guys I'm crap, right? And the guy I play with, my mate Brad, he like screams down the mic and all, like his girlfriend. His girlfriend was working a night shift, and she was like, I was trying to sleep before going into work, and a load of trick-or-treaters were calling at his door, and he was refusing to answer the trick-or-treaters because he was playing.
Balls deep in Marvel Rivals.
And he made her go down and get the door. Like,
who do you mean in it?
The big shark, or what do we call it?
Jeff the Shark.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I hate those players.
That's not a fucking Marvel character, either.
It is, yeah. It is. I can't remember the story about him, But there's obviously, so this is going to be so boring for anyone listening, unless you're into Marvel, but there's a healer character in it called Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, yeah.
And their story is literally just like they took radioactive heroin or something and overdosed, and that's why they're like, have you ever played as them? You like hit R1 on the PlayStation to change between Cloak and Dagger, and so they're like one being, but that's what happened. They OD'd on radioactive heroin.
Because my mate he's so balls deep in it, like, and he's sending me like the lore of people, and I'm like, God, I'm just looking to jump on and have a few beers.
I want to just play as Iron Man or something, mate, to be honest.
Like, we played Apex a bit, and then like I think he sort of sent me a message one night and was like, listen, you're going to need to really get a few solo games in because I'm sort of sick of having to carry you. Like, I was like, what?
It sounds like my kind of mate. This
yeah,
is the kind of guy we on our team.
He was like, I'm kind of carrying you, and he goes, and there's a couple of my mates from work who want to play, and I might need to switch over to them unless you step up. And I was like, alright, okay.
You get ditched because you're just not good at it. Yeah. That's terrible.
Like, this boy's a civil servant, so yeah, if you know what I mean. So like, he's probably used to like go like regiment.
So you mentioned Call of Duty. What's your favorite Call of Duty, or even your top 3 Call of Duties?
That's a great question actually. Black Ops 1. The first ever Black Ops, my favourite.
Yeah.
I remember the storyline to that as well.
The numbers, what the numbers mean?
Yeah. Then I'd go Modern Warfare 2. Then, this is a controversial one. Remember the Call of Duty World War?
World at War, COD 5?
Yeah. That was great. Like, that was sort of P7 when I first got an Xbox.
What age? Are you the same age as me, or are you a year above me?
I think I'm a year above, actually.
Year above. So yeah, I remember my 3 are Modern Warfare 2. Probably COD 4 and then World at War, but I also really liked what do you call it, like Modern Warfare 2019, the more recent, you know, the one that Warzone brought out. I forgot about it, because
it's 2019 the one that then
lockdown.
No, actually that would be up there as well, because that got me through a lot of fucking bad times.
I see Black Ops 1. I remember I was heavy. I was called the COD God in school because I was a serious gamer, and Black Ops 1, I pre-ordered the limited edition, and it was like 130 quid, and it came with the fucking an actual RCXD that you could control. It was absolutely shite. It had a camera and like a microphone on it, but it wouldn't work on anything bar carpet for some reason.
Fuck, that's big. Like, I remember like my best mate, like I sort of met him through Xbox and stuff like that. He's called Sims, and like we were in a chat, and like, there's going to be a serious player joining our COD game tonight. He's called Sims. He's coming into it. It was like, do you ever see Spy Kids? Really, the player? Yeah, it was like, we're bringing it. There's this guy called Sims. Don't be messing about. Like, he's here to play. Like, it's like, you know, where someone comes to a high stakes poker game and they're like, if you're looking to play for real money, it's like him there.
There's a big boy game over here if you want to come.
And then I don't know what happened with games where I just sort of fell out of love with them or what happened, but I'm trying to get back into them now. Like, especially like because my job and like over sort of summer, I've nothing but time.
To do, yeah.
So I need to get back.
I sort of think I have a bit of a, like, I love playing games. I consider it an art form, which makes me sound like a massive virgin, I know, but I've always, like, even when I remember I was P7, my dad had to put like a timer on my Xbox because, like, you know, she could only play like 8 hours a week or something. Nazi Germany, by the way, 8 hours a week.
Yes,
that's fucking wild. But then I worked out the password, silly cunt, it was just 4 X's. So I just took the timer off it. He was like, how are you getting on with the limited Xbox time? And I goes, yep, loving it here.
Did you PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox 360, PS4, then PS5. A brief stint in PC gaming.
I was obsessed with I obviously just started off with PS2. And did you ever play like Jack and Daxter, Sly
Tycoon?
Cooper? Yeah, Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper? He's a raccoon though, isn't he?
Yeah. And I remember just being an afters or some boy and both sort of mangled, and we were talking about Sly Cooper, and he goes, "That fucking big hippo Murray, he was a legend." I was like, "This boy's a man."
What's the other one? Crash Bandicoot. That was fucking great.
The gamer boy who I was with my mate Brad, who was sitting like freaking out over not being able to do the new Crash. Remember they re-released it, but it was really hard.
Yeah. I thought that there was a mission I literally couldn't get past in the first game. I was like, why the fuck did I play this when I was younger?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I was thinking, what the fuck's going on? And then Uncharted, played a lot of that.
I never played those actually, you know.
It was always like good. I'm a sucker for a good storyline one, and then I don't have a PS5, got the current Xbox, but I share it with my flatmate. But I might buy. He leaves in September, and I might buy a PS5 mainly because Spider-Man 2 is a game that I still need to fucking clear.
I've played the first Spider-Man on the PS4. Is it Spider-Man 2 the Miles Morales one, or is there actual Spider-Man 2?
There's Spider-Man 2 where you play as like black suit Spider-Man. It's so nerdy. But like, because I need to like. There's only so much fucking TV box sets and all you can get. I'm a real film nerd, like, but.
And there is, I know what you mean. Like you can't just watch. Like sometimes when you watch 3 films in a day, you think, I don't know if I can do this. To be honest,
it's like a lot of times where like I'm a bit pretentious about films and stuff, and like I'll put them on and I'll be. This requires concentration. Like you can't just be fucking sitting
down and all. I'm the exact same, mate. I won't watch a film unless it's 7 rated on IMDb, depending on the genre.
Yeah.
If it's like if you're gonna give me a comedy and it's a 6.5, I'll watch that. You know, because that's a pretty good rating for a comedy. Or like sometimes a horror film, it can tater into the 6s. I don't mind that.
See, IMDb is gonna sound so hipster, but if you if you look at the people who do the ratings on IMDb, it's like men from 17 to 27. So that's
my age group, mate.
So, but I'm like, when I go to like Letterboxd and I'm like, oh, I'll go to Letterboxd. What's the film like on Letterboxd? Because there's a film I found where like Robert Duvall and Robert De Niro, and like one's a priest and one's like a dirty cop, and they're brothers and they're investigating a murder. I think it's called Confessions, and I never heard of it at all. Like, and I just it was like a 6 on IMDb, but I put it on. It was fucking lethal. Like,
I think I actually follow you on Letterboxd. You know?
Yeah.
There's a guy I watch on TikTok, a Scouse fella called Tom Reviews Films or something, and he's very critical. Yeah. And he only gets like 150 likes or something. He's not a big like film reviewer, but I trust him. And he said his favourite film was this film called Ran. It's a 1984 Japanese film.
Oh yes, the director was going blind when he was making it as well.
You'd fucking think so anyway. Yeah. Fucking watching it, shite. It's absolutely dick and balls. It's a Japanese remake of King Lear, the Shakespeare play. And I wish I knew that because I wouldn't have fucking watched it to begin with. Because I read King Lear in school when we were doing English A level, and I thought this is shite. This is shit. Not to sound like a cunt as well, but Shakespeare's worst work, if you ask me. But I wasn't a fan of it at all, and I was sitting watching it, being like, "What did he like so much about this film?" Because it's the '80s, and like I can look past bad quality, like not like the quality of the film itself. I can look past that. I don't expect it to be 4K. But it just felt fucking weird. I didn't know what was going on half the time. Yeah,
that's what I think. People saying that Akira Kurosawa is, and he was going blind. So people say that like, oh, it's amazing that he's been able to do this. He's still going blind. I'm like, yeah, but
I don't trust a director who's blind. I'm sorry.
It's like
if he was deaf, fair enough. But what the fuck is he? He can't see.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it, but it's on the list. But it's one of the ones I look at the list and I go, I need to be in a really good mood to sit and watch this. Like, because there's a lot like at the minute where I'm like it's hard to beat for me personally, like a fucking Rocky film or a and then there's a lot at the minute that like I want to watch, but I'm just like,
what's your like guilty pleasure film? If you like, do you have a film that you know is bad but you actually like love it?
Spider-Man 3 probably.
Spider-Man 3 is not bad. That doesn't count.
Yeah, what's a terrible film? Is iRobot bad?
Will Smith. I don't think I've actually seen it.
There's a guy, you might know him. Actually, no, I'll tell you his name after, but he really looks like the robot from iRobot. What else? A really guilty pleasure film like Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's
what
a really
killed the dinosaur? Yeah, because I remember that like my mom and dad taking me to see it and like or granted from Extravision when I was like 5 or 6, and just like. 6-year-old me hitting the root over poison ivy, being like, "What the fuck's going on here?" Like, I've never experienced this before.
I was talking to Niall Brady. Obviously, he does the Bad Movie Buff podcast. Go look at that. Ciaran has an episode talking about Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
And then my episode comes out on Monday where I talk about The Raid. But I
couldn't have got two more different films.
But I was talking to him on that podcast. I think it was in the podcast. It might have been before. We were talking about Crank with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah.
Where it's the film where he needs to keep his heart going to stay alive.
It's a bit where he bucks someone just to keep his heart going.
That's what we were talking about. Like, it is so bad, but it's good. Like,
yeah, I really like. I remember watching The Transporter when I in P7.
That's Jason Statham. There's about 3 of them, isn't there? Or something?
This is fucking unbelievable. Like,
what else is good? I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call it bad or a guilty pleasure, but John Wick. I have a real soft spot for John Wick.
Oh, I really like John Wick 3 was because 2019 was a pretty poor year for film.
Yeah,
and I remember going to see John Wick, and I tried to rate the films at the end of the year, and I was like, why is John Wick 3 the best film I've seen all year? Like,
we went to go see. I think it was either number 2 or what year did number 2 come out? Do you know?
Number 2 came out, and we were like 2018, so I would have been first
It
year
would have
uni.
been,
Yeah.
it would have been John Wick 2. We used to live in a student house in like Botanic Stroke Holy Lands, and we were excited. We used to call him Jean Vic, the boogeyman, and we were all very excited to go see it. And so we got 2 edibles each off this guy who used to sell these muffins. And one of our mates took 2 of the muffins, and it was going to be a whole great day. We're all stoned out, going to go see John Wick 2, and our mate was sitting in the living room in the corner, and he was sort of like shaking back and forwards, like rubbing his legs, and he went sheet white, and he goes, "This isn't good. This isn't good." And we were like, "What's wrong, mate? Are you alright?" And he goes, "Oh, this isn't good. I think I'm having a heart attack." And we were like, "Come on, here,
You got to
mate.
see John Wick.
You're quite obviously greening out." And he was like, "No," and he was like sheet white, sweating bullets, but it obviously was just a green out.
Yeah.
And he got one of our mates to take him up to the hospital to get like an ECG scan and all done, and they were like, "You're obviously not having a heart attack."
What is green now? Just you're panicking on green, or
Just like it's not even panicking on green. It's like where, have you ever smoked grass or anything where you've got so stoned you actually like feel sick, you're sweating, you're cold.
Yeah.
And all, that's greening out. Obviously it's 2 edibles, and they're strong edibles, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we didn't get to go see it, for fuck's sake. I was raging.
No, I've never been a big man. I've done edibles twice, and both times not an enjoyable experience.
No.
Like, yeah. I know, like some people love it, like, but
I used to be big into my grass, but not anymore. I took like a break from it for a while, and then whenever I went back to smoking it, it was like I kept thinking I was about to die every time I smoked it. So I was like, I'm done with this. But there used to be a guy when we lived in Tate's Avenue. He lived down in the village, and we got edibles off him, and he would come up with some mental concoctions. I'm not even joking. He made sausage rolls.
in edibles.
In edibles, swear to fuck. I think it was the pastries where the part that was edibles. You use like the cannabis butter or something to make the pastry, and I got fucking at 2 sausage rolls. It was absolutely rubbered. It was great.
Yeah, see that, like, in my head, I'm like, it's how quickly it creeps up on you as well.
Yeah.
Because I took it in Amsterdam, and I was just sitting on the train, and I just started feeling really stoned. And I ordered like it was like 5 of us, and I ordered like 6 pizzas. Went downstairs, got the pizzas, and then realised I was locked out of the Airbnb, and it was lashing rain, and the rest of the boys were too stoned to like come down and get me. So I was sitting there like having like a panic attack outside this Airbnb in the middle of the rain. Like, fucking, I've had some this is just a rotten story, like, but I remember because I have quite a bad stomach. Like, we went to like a fancy enough restaurant in Spain. Me and a mate living there, and had the meal unreal. And then it was like there's gonna be a thunderstorm, so we were like, right, may as well fucking just call it a night here. And I was walking back to the flat while the thunderstorm was starting. I was like, oh jeez, my stomach's going here. And then it started to really go, and I was like running, but it was thunder and lightning. I was like, I'm not gonna make it back to the flat, and I had to run up some alleyway. And in the middle of this is the worst experience of my life. Thunder, lightning, like. Torrential rain, drop my trousers and shit down an alleyway. It was like, fuck potato bravas. Like,
were you stoned as well?
Yes, I said
Right.
we'd had the edible, and then where
did the grass come into this?
You know, I was like, we'd had the edible, and we're like, right now we're gonna go and then go to this really fancy restaurant and like enjoy, like, and it was like just sitting there like the worst experience of my life. And I got back to my like we flat, and like I'd kind of recovered a wee bit, showered, climbed into bed with this wee light on, and there was thunder and lightning, like a wee gremlin, like this is like Voldemort basically. Like,
I don't think I ever had any like proper green out like experiences. I had have you ever tried mushrooms?
No, I think like, the boy I was with in Amsterdam also took mushrooms, and I just seen him put his head on the table, and I went, I'll leave it.
I've only taken them twice, and they're these wee chocolates.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mad. It's like a wee tiny chocolate, and I had half of one time, and we were in a bar in town, and we were playing pool. And I remember just coming up off them, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever felt. I was loving it. And there was a guy wearing like wee pointy shoes, like just like normal browners.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was like imagining them as like curling up like fucking big cowboy shoes or something.
Yeah.
And all my mates were at the bar getting a pint, and I was just stood at the pool table by myself, but I couldn't stop laughing at these shoes to the point I was like in hysterics, like tears down my face, laughing. And he was a wee baldy, just old man, just with these normal shoes on, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So that was the first time, and I thought they're the best thing ever. I'm gonna keep doing them. The next time I took them, now that was only off half a chocolate.
Yeah.
And the next time we took them, so that time you do them on an empty stomach. We did them on an empty stomach that time, but this time we had eaten before we went out, and so it takes longer to hit
as
you.
well. Was it
A fry from Cliftonville Golf Club, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So it was heavy enough, and so they just weren't kicking in, and we were waiting the same amount of time as the week before. And then we were like, we need to get out of here, out of the bar. We were in the same bar, and at this point I'd taken 2.5, and they still weren't doing anything. So we went back to our mate's flat, and he had more of the chocolates there. and then we were sitting watching. I think Spurs were playing someone, and they were getting beat 3-0. This might have been 2 years ago or something. It might have been Crystal Palace. It might have been Fulham. I feel like it was another London team. And we took them, and they were like, I think we ended up taking about 4 or 5 each of the chocolates. And then it just hit us all at once. And I've never been in the proper psychedelics. Like, that was very mild. And then this just fucking, was freaking out. And I was looking at my mate has a big tattoo on his arm. And I was like, do you ever just want to peel that off you? Yeah. And he was like, what have you just said to me? Yeah. But
Harry Kane was drilling at your TV.
It was nuts. It looked like the players were like sprinting like up and down the pitch, but like in like 4 times speed, if that makes sense. But the disgusting part of the story was, I remember from the week before, we had pizza at Little Italy, and it sobered me up. So I thought, we need to get food here, and it'll sober us up. So we ordered food, and I was like so like dying to be sober that I was just scoffing slices, one after the other, banging slices, to the point that I was like, I actually feel sick here. So I went into the toilet upstairs, and was like being sick. But I was like, I felt like I was trying to make myself sick, so I had like saliva on my hands. And forgot I hadn't flushed the toilet, and just started washing my hands in the toilet.
Oh, fuck that. That's fucking,
And then, because you're looking at it, and you're like, you're sick, like pizza sick is obviously colourful. Yeah. Meanwhile, being on like 4 grams of mushrooms, looking at that, it's fucking just mental, mate. So I never went. Although, what happened was, we ended up going back to a different house. I got a nice blanket around me, watched some David Attenborough, and that was the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's.
But it wasn't good enough to make me think, I'll do those again.
Fuck that, like. It is just like psychedelics are sort of the things where like I tried them when I was like I tried acid when I was like 17, and my aunt's husband at the time had to so everyone was like, it's acid, it's 8 hours or whatever, and I was they were all like 24. It was all these lads I worked around House of Fraser, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it as well. 17, and then my mum had arranged my aunt's husband to pick me up. So I was fucking like in his car while fucking he was like, you alright, Ciaran? He's from Glasgow. He's like, have a good night. And I was just sitting there like, oh, lad, unreal. And then I remember just like going back, and my aunt was asking me for like how I was doing and stuff like that. I was just drinking like a can of Courage. Remember the big tall sort of ones?
Oh yeah.
And it was just like it was like a white face behind her, and the can was freaking me out. And I just went, nah, I'm just going to bed here. Like I think that was sort of knocked it in the head, because like there's guys I know, like in our friend group, we had to kick a guy out basically because he was like, you removed your excommunicado John Wick for basically like. He just kept taking acid, and then just like he wasn't the same guy at all. Like he was saying,
he was on it.
Even just after it
cooked him.
It completely cooked his brain. Like, and like he would just come in and post like mad stuff in our group about like like really like dark shit, and you'd be like, time to make a new group chat. Like,
does the pigeon speak to anyone else, or is it just me?
Yeah, you'd be sitting there. Yeah. And like I remember, like we went to my granny and grandparents had a place in Spain, and we went. And like he was just coming out, like I was just sitting there in the balcony, and I wasn't really that close with him, and he just turned around and goes, I'm gonna fucking get you one day, Purdy, you know that? I'm gonna fucking get you. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then he asked the girl out, who like my mate Catherine and her mates came and met up with us in Spain, and we were like just sitting on the beach having beers, and he asked her mate out, and her mate was like, no, you're alright. And he like walked into the sea as if like to try and fucking kill himself or something. And I was like, fuck this guy, like. Yeah.
What's he out now, do you know?
He's made efforts to reach out to the friend group, but like he always disliked me, like, so he took me off all social media.
Oh really?
But he made efforts to like sort of be like to my mates. It's quite funny actually. Like, come on, give me another chance. And then one of my mates was hacked by one of those crypto people. So popped up to him and was like, I'd like to offer you a good bit. And he was like, sounds good, bro, can we meet for coffee? And he was texting a bot thinking like, I'm getting back in the friend group here.
That's kind of sad at the same time.
And he goes, because my mate got his account back, so he was able to see the chat. And he was like, he goes, can we just meet for coffee? And he goes, sure, just make sure to send your bank details over here. And he goes, bro, why are you asking me for my bank details? Oh, God love him. But he started texting us one day. He made a group chat at us all in and was like, I'm mates with Harry Styles these days and all. And we were like, alright. He was working at a Harry Styles concert.
What obviously there would be people that just remind me, there's a guy in our school when we were there who made up that he was having sex with Lisa from N-Dubs. And that it makes me think, like, what do people like that think that you believe? Do you know what I mean? Because no one's going to be like, are you actually, mate? Do you know what I mean? What's like, have you ever heard one of those where it's like a lie from someone, and it's like such a pointless lie because it's so unbelievable?
Like, primary school through to secondary school used to tell me 50 Cent was his cousin. and I didn't believe him. Like, there's no way 50 Cent's your cousin. Like, and he goes, he is my cousin. And then I went to his birthday in P7, and I went like, you're with Paul and look, Brady probably know who he is. Like this guy, and like I remember I went to his birthday party in P7, and I said to his mummy and daddy, I was like, there's no way 50 Cent's his cousin. They were like, he is. And like the man and dad backed it up.
No way.
And I was like, is he actually? They went, 50 Cent's his cousin. And I was like, oh, fucking right. And then I sort of like cozied up to this guy, being like, am I going to get to meet Curtis? Like,
first name basis, Curtis Jackson.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I get to meet him. Like, it's like, I was a massive 50 Cent fan. And it was like, can I take him to the candy shop? Like, and he was like, oh, I'm not. And then basically found out later on, just complete shit. Like,
why did the man die? Why were they just in on the joke or something?
Yeah, like, I remember this guy I used to play GTA with him and all. And he'd tell me, like, I have this bird down the gaff now. Ciaran, maybe 16. He was, do you wanna come down and meet her and all? And I'd be on Rooftop Rumble in GTA. Like, can I actually? And he'd be like, need to check we're here. And then he'd like go off the mic for him and he was, nah, sorry. he now also, it's funny enough, works in crypto. He'll message me every now and then being like, does. Do you want to invest 150 to make 200? I'm like, no, I'll just put a bet on that.
That's probably a good topic of conversation. Cryptocurrency. Have you ever bought any?
Yeah, I had some in a mate when we went to Vietnam. Basically, for both of us bought some just see if it would help us out when we're on the trip. It would go up
what
on a stage, and then
idea.
then we could cash out if we're running out of money. It didn't work. So in my head, it's only £150, but it was like, fucking right, this would be handy enough, and it just didn't work.
I just don't understand it, and people are like, it's like on the blockchain, and it's like, I don't know what you're saying to me. I have no idea what. When people even talk about stocks as well,
I was like,
I haven't a fucking clue.
I was just like, I want my money back, and he went, you can have like some of the money back if you cash out now. And I went, yeah, just give me that. Like,
one of my mates, there's all those shit coins, they're like meme coins and stuff. And he bought one called Hot Guy, and he was like, had like, I don't know, like 50 quid in it or something. Maybe actually might have been less, but it would have went up to about $9,000 overnight. But he was asleep, obviously, and as soon as he woke up, it just fucking plummeted right to like 20p or something.
That's
like,
fucking
obviously because people just pump it up, and like a pump and dump, I believe it's called.
That's like the GameStop thing as well. Like,
who was I reading about the other day? You ever see The Big Short?
Yeah.
Do you know the guy that Christian Bale plays, Michael Burry?
Yeah.
He was like one of the guys who was like part of the GameStop one as well.
Like helping GameStop, or
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was the hedge fund, so I think they're probably the bad guys in that situation.
It's the guy who owns the Knicks and the Mets. Is the bad guy in that sort of film about the GameStop, like,
right?
Because he was the guy who wanted to short GameStop. But
is there a GameStop film as well?
Yeah, there's a film with that as well.
Oh.
Paul Dano plays like a guy who basically discovered that they're going to try and short GameStop.
That's like the most recent one, isn't it? Where like people made fucking loads of money off it because people ended up like buying the stock to save GameStop, essentially, didn't they?
Quite a few sort of young stockbrokers end up throwing themselves in front of the trains and stuff.
Oh, did they?
Like, because they like sort of
they were betting on it shorting.
Yeah, and they rolled the
Whatever that
dice
means.
and basically lost their trust fund or their startup or whatever, which is kind of mental, but also fuck them.
So they're betting against the stock of it or something.
Yeah, they wanted GameStop to basically, the idea was that GameStop was basically going to go bust, and then I think all these people decided to buy stock of GameStop to support it. Which is like, GameStop always give you the worst fucking price when you trade it in a game. So yeah, just game the shop was always decent. Like, for
I used to love going in the game, you know.
Yeah.
Like there used to be one in Conswater, a wee shopping centre, RIP. It's actually closed down the other week. I used to love going in there and getting pre-owned games, and there's one that's stuck in my head, and I always remembered it was like a PS2 game called Leisure Suite Larry. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It was like a fucking. I think it was like it was an 18 rated game. I was never allowed to get it because I was so young. But it was like you played as a porn director or something. Oh, I know.
This is you've unlocked a memory here. Like,
it's like, and I always remember wanting to play it because I didn't know what porn was at the time either. I was an uncorrupted young mind. Yeah. And I always remember seeing it. It was always in the pre-owned. Nobody must have been banning it. It must have been fucking shite.
Yeah. No. And there was another one. There was a Playboy game. I remember that.
Was there?
Yeah. And there's so many games. Like, I remember finally allowing my mom to let me get GTA San Andreas and putting it on, and then if you hit like R2 and if you hit R2 and L2 at the same time, you got CJ to go fuck you like that there. First thing I done, my mom and he walked over and just took it out of the PlayStation.
I wasn't allowed GTA when I was younger, even GTA 4. I've never played GTA 4.
Seriously?
I wasn't allowed to get it, but what I was allowed was Saints Row 2.
Yeah, it was that Saints Row.
Which I thought was actually better, to be honest. Saints Row 2 was class. And then finally, whenever GTA 5 came out, I was a 16-year-old young man. I was allowed to get it at that point, and I was like, this is the best thing ever.
See, the way I got GTA 4 was I asked my man and dad for Microsoft points. And then I used the Microsoft points to buy GTA 4 on the store. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
But I remember, like, you know, when you start it comes up GTA 4 on the loading screen.
Yeah.
I remember being in my bedroom, like, looking every time I turned it on, making sure my man and dad didn't come in, so I was playing it in secret, like.
Putting your chair up against the door when you're in the strip club and all.
Yeah, absolutely, like, fuck, this is mental. And then I just couldn't get past it, but there was a level where you had to save Roman, his cousin, and I used cheat codes so I get all the guns to go in and save him. And it basically meant that, like, I didn't get any
You can't get the achievements?
Yeah, no, it's fucking, it's grim.
I liked GTA 5 was good, but like Saints Row 2 for me was like the best game ever at the time, because it was like the first game I played where you can just kill prostitutes and drug dealers and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
There's the three gangs, there's like the triads, the reggae ones,
yes, I
and
can't
the
remember.
motorbike ones.
But then it got real fucking silly. Did you ever play Saints Row 3?
Yeah, that's when I was in Saints Row 4 where you're the president.
Yeah, and it just goes real fucking silly. Like Saints Row 1 and 2, you were like an actual gang, and then Saints Row 3, you're running about with a 6-foot dildo, like beating people with it.
Yeah, because the Saints Row 2 was like sort of gritty and had a bit of like.
Yeah, like it was like GTA 4. It was like a competitor to it.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Like
Johnny Gat. Remember the Asian guy in it?
You had to get respect to do a mission.
Yeah, that's right. And the cars and everything in it. There used to be a glitch in it where you could drive motorbikes up buildings. If you like did a wheelie up against the building, you could just drive up it. And I remember just sitting doing that for hours at a time.
Johnny Gat, that's another memory unlocked. Fucking
and then he comes back. He dies in Saints Row 3.
Yeah, at the very first start of it, and he comes back to life.
It's like, what is this fucking game now? And then the last one, I'm near sure there was one recently enough, and it was absolutely shite. I didn't play it. Like, I think it was just called the Saints Row or something.
Saints Row 4, you could be a superhero and stuff, and I was just like,
fuck nonsense.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Go back to gangbanging. You know what I mean? The children yearn for the streets.
Oh, and then there's a guy who you're mates with in Saints Row 2, and he gets attached to a Carlos or something, and he gets attached to a tow truck and drove around town, and you have to try and get him off in a level, like,
But it's not like Saints Row 2 is just not wacky at all. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Games like back then were a bit insane. Like, did you ever play the skate games, like Skate 2 or Skate 3? I think it was Skate 2 where there was like places you couldn't skate because there was like security guards or cops that would come around to get you away. But you could ring someone on your phone called Big Black, and it was just a big black guy who would just come and like chase the security guards away for you. Yeah. Do you remember that?
I only played Skate 3 like on we called the demo. You downloaded it. But it's a game that I put my favorite game ever, like, and it was like GTA, but you had to be really sensible. LA Noire.
Oh, it was class. It had that the facial expression thing, didn't it? And they were the worst facial expressions ever. Yeah,
and you like doubt and all, like you added up there, and then like if you were doing a police car chase, you had to be really fucking careful driving around. If you like crash for a fucking, I remember I got a really bad case where the head detective shouted at me, and I felt so grim.
I remember there's a meme going like of that, and it's like I don't know. I think this guy did it, and he's like got this mad facial expression on him. Yeah, he just looks so guilty. But
they used the cast of Mad Men's my favorite show ever, like, and they used the cast of Mad Men are all in LA Noire, just in different bits as like suspects or partners and stuff. So like the main guy in LA Noire is like one of the main characters in Mad Men.
Is it worth watching Mad Men? I remember starting it, and I was like, I don't know if I didn't get it or if it was too slow for me or something.
It heavily influenced like myself and Saul anyway, like the idea of just fucking the amount of painting and like work's good, but you need a fucking wee drink after and all. That's sort of
you need your secretary on the side, don't you?
Yeah. like Saul's telling me he's got a studio now and he's gonna have a wee drinks table built in, like fucking Mad Men,
like a wee globe or something.
Yeah, because like I watched during lockdown, and it was sort of Mad Men goes from like 1960 to 1970. So by the sort of 5th series of it, there's 7 series of it, all the characters' appearances have changed apart from the main guy. Like they've got mustaches or their hair's longer and all. So then that's when I started to grow like a mustache, their hair longer and stuff, and be like wear sort of like funkier clothes and stuff.
I am Don Draper.
Yeah. But the whole like the cool thing about Mad Men is like Don never changes at all, while all the characters around him do with the 60s and stuff.
Like 7 series, so because I know the only thing I know that has 7 series is Suits. And that's like halfway when you get the Suits, like the main character leaves, and it's like completely different. I'm not saying that Suits is anywhere near Mad Men. I think Suits is shite, but is it like consistently good for the 7 series Mad Men?
Yeah, it's like I think they only wanted to do 6, so series 6. I think it could have gone either way, but then it actually turned out to be great as well. Like, but I'm like, it was one of them ones where I would never watch it if it wasn't for lockdown. But when I watched it during lockdown, every night was exciting because I was like, ready to get to watch another 2 episodes of this.
It's one of those ones. It's like, it's not quite rated as highly as The Sopranos and everything.
Yeah.
But the people who do rate it so highly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's just so many sort of iconic scenes, great characters, and the soundtrack, because it's in the 60s, is just lethal. Like.
Yeah. It's just all about advertising, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like there was an advertising boom, I suppose, in the 60s.
Yeah, and like how America changed basically, like so sort of it deals with like, because the 60s was such a mental decade, like Kennedy, the assassination,
Yeah.
Martin Luther King's assassination, all that there sort of stuff. It really works. Like,
I'm watching that Yellowstone at the minute. Have you seen
it's
it?
good. My man and dad love it. Like,
It's it's a bit fucking, I don't know. It's like it's
slow, or is it?
No, I watched the first episode before and I thought this is slow, and then I watched it again there and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, because it's not like there's action in it at the start, but it's a bit fucking, it really hammers into the cowboy idea. It's a bit too much, do you know what I mean? Like in the first episode, it's not a spoiler, but there's a guy chasing someone with a gun. Both of them have a gun, sorry.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't indicate that he's run out of ammo or anything, but he just fucking lassos him instead of shooting him. And it's like he's already shot him, like he's injured, and he decides to lasso him, and I'm like, you don't need to do that. I get it, you're a cowboy, you've got the cowboy hat on.
It's in Wyoming, isn't it?
Montana,
yeah.
which borders Wyoming, but it's like all the time they're talking about, and it's like the dialogue's a bit sort of cringe, I think, at times. It's like, look at that mountain. This is the way the cowboys. It's like fucking rein it in.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
do need to give it a watch. Like, there's so much stuff, like Severance. People keep saying to me to watch.
Have you not watched it?
Nah, people are like, yeah, Severance is the one. I watched because I knew it'd be easy to watch. This City Is Ours.
Yeah, it's a good watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like what if Michael Corleone was Scouse?
He was in. I was watching your man. What's the main character's name? Michael, isn't it? Michael?
Yeah.
He's in Black Mirror, the newest.
Is he? Yeah.
He's in the episode with Peter Capaldi. Star-studded episode, that one.
Yeah, no, I need to get on it as well. Like, but I love the Scouse accent. Like, go on, fucking bally him, lads. Yeah.
Your man, who I can't remember what you call him. Bink, is it? It's like the. Is Jamie's mate with the curly
Bonehead,
hair?
the most Scouse looking man.
Scouse fella ever made.
Like, Scousers have like a look, in the same way Mancunians have a look.
Yeah.
But Scousers is a funnier
that's
look.
him.
Yeah.
Do you ever see The Wire? Do you know Snoopy in The Wire?
Yeah.
It's like that's like what he is for The City Is Ours.
Yeah.
Snoopy's obviously just a fucking gangster they picked up in the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah, and he's like,
he's just some Scouse John Head. So he's
like, fucking blades him, lads. And all, yeah. It's like,
alright, soft lad.
Yeah, or even like the main guy Banksy, or one of the the guy. That's such a Scouse look as well.
It's a Scouse looking, isn't he?
Yeah.
It is good. It wasn't like. It's like one of those ones where, like you said, it's an easy watch. It's not like, fuck, that's groundbreaking.
Yeah, I put it on, like, we finished work for Easter and I came in a few pints deep and I went, I'll fucking whack that on.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's like something you could tell your ma to watch, which I did tell my ma to watch, and she liked it.
Yeah, my man and dad liked it as well. My dad done this fucking thing where he goes, by the way, there's not a twist, but or it kind of is. My dad goes, oh, there's a big twist in it. And I went, cheers, mate, now I'm just going to be sitting waiting for it.
I hate when people say that to you. What was it? Have you watched Kin? It's like the Irish word. I think Kin's better. But then I look at Kin and I'm like, oh, it's no love hate at the same time.
Yeah, love hate was the goat. Like Nidge is
it's probably in my top 3, you know.
Oh, Nidge was just because Nidge starts out quite sound. And it just becomes awful.
King Nidge.
Yeah.
Did you see your man who played the gypsy in it? I don't know if it was the one who played Fran or if it's the one who made the pipe bombs.
He came out and said they're making our series. Yeah.
And I'm near sure someone else came out and said that's not happening at all.
Yeah, RTE came out and went with a foxy poodle or something. Yeah.
But have you ever seen the actor Tom Lawler Jones, I think you call him, who plays Nidge? Have you ever heard him speak normally?
Yeah, he's proper South Dublin. Yeah.
It's nuts.
He's like, yeah, so I was making the series and it's like, where the fuck's this? And he go, what are you fucking starting me? Like, yeah, it's mental. Like, because Fran speaks exactly like he does in the show in real life, but he's like proper like, yes, so we shot the film.
It's so many like funny lines in it as well. It's like, you ever see when Nidge is getting married and it's what do you call the guy?
Oh, the red cow roundabout.
The red cow roundabout. We're going our Browns.
Yeah.
And there's your fucking Trish walks in and he's like, I'm dating my Bebo page.
It's so different. Because why is the fuck sort of singing it where the old choreographed dance at Nidge's wedding and he does a cartwheel as well?
Yes, that's have you ever seen The Office?
Yeah.
They do that in The Office as well.
Yeah.
But I think, because I googled it and I think, I was like, there's no way The Office has taken that from Love Hate.
Yeah.
But I'm near sure there was like a viral video went online I was like, that's like really early YouTube, so if something goes viral, everyone in the world's seen it, where people did that at their actual wedding, and it was that Chris Brown song. So both of them, like The Office and Love Hate, took it from this random video.
Yeah.
But it's weird as fuck the way it happens.
Because Love Hate's such a gritty crime documentary,
so
and then it just breaks into like this. Yeah.
You're like, is someone gonna get shot at this wedding? And then they're all dancing to Chris Brown down the fucking aisle.
Oh, smell it, because the first season's good, but then it gets really good from there. Like,
oh, it's class. I rewatched it recently enough, and I was like, this is even better than I remembered it.
yeah,
I can remember it's one of those ones I can remember my and dad watching when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I was too young to watch it, sort of thing.
it's like Darren and Nige in series 3 where there's a bit of tension
Yeah.
between them. Yeah, it's fucking.
I love you. You obviously liked my TikTok edits I was reposting of Rory McIlroy,
Yeah.
but I'm a sucker for a TikTok edit. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
what
I
it
love
is.
it, yeah.
I was for a while. I was just kept getting relentlessly Nidge highlights or like
Yeah,
Nidge edits for some reason on my TikTok, and I was reposting them, and I was like, does it make me look like a psycho that I'm like idolizing this fella?
No, I love King Nige. Like, I'd happily watch another series of it because he's in Love Hate, like, but he's not Love Hate.
Yeah.
He's in Say Nothing, that actor. But
He's doing he actually does a decent enough Belfast accent. There's a few words that like
he sounds. There's a scene where he's chatting to Jerry Adams, and he sounds exactly like Brendan Hughes.
oh yeah.
And he's like,
No, is
fucking
Brendan Hughes not the one who? Is he? Oh, he is.
He's
he
older
plays the
Brendan
older
Hughes,
Brendan
yeah, and he
Hughes.
sounds exactly like I listen to tape recordings of Brendan Hughes, and he sounds exactly
Aye.
like him.
Who's your fella that plays the young Brendan Hughes?
Anthony Boyle?
A lot of women are frothing at the fannies over him. He's
He,
a lucky man.
my brother would know him from my brother does like film documentary and just down in Dublin, but he's a producer and like says sound as fuck like
Is
with
he?
big party.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
would
yeah,
be to be
yeah.
fair, wouldn't you? He's but he was good in that. I thought I liked the reason I liked Say Nothing so much was because they like his accent. He sounds like he's from the West.
Yeah,
Like there's no sort. Well, there's maybe the odd word that's like sort of changed, for the British ears, but
yeah.
I hate when you watch something that's like based over here and they just don't sound like how people actually speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, everyone in Say Nothing fucking like they cast it sort of perfectly, like because they could have gone
Yeah.
with really big actors and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think they keep it. The guy who plays young Jerry Adams is unreal, and he's a Scouser.
Yes, that's right. Actually,
Yeah, he's a fucking Scouser, and he's fucking.
I do sometimes hate it. There was a whole thing about that The City Is Ours about like they didn't actually use Scouse actors for the whole cast,
Yeah,
and a lot of Scousers are because Scousers are very proud of being from Liverpool.
yeah. Scouse, not English, lad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And so a lot of them were quite upset that people that didn't pick genuine Scousers.
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of the same with Say Nothing. Like the fact they used a Scouser for young Jerry Adams, even though he did a good job, I
Yeah,
think
he's
you
great.
should, if you're gonna do like somewhere where I don't know if it's anything to do with like the place itself, but more just sort of the accent is so specific. Just pick people from fucking.
Like if any
the
producers
country.
are watching this and you need someone to play a
You
young
need
Jerry
someone-
Adams,
There's young Michael Stone.
Yeah.
I don't know who I can fucking play.
Johnny Eclair.
Johnny Eclair. Right enough.
Fucking there was a boy last night at the gig in Beehive, and he looked the double of fucking Johnny Adair, like the fucking double of him, like. And then he came up to me afterwards, like, and he was like, he goes, "Hey, said hello to some wee girl there," and she goes, "I'm 15." And he goes, "You can't fucking do anything right these days." I was like,
Sounds like something Johnny Adair would do.
so what the fuck are you on about, like?
It'll probably be a 15-year-old boy though.
Is it? Oh, fuck me.
Did you ever see the James English podcast?
I just can't stand James English.
know,
But
I
my
hate-
mate mate sent me going, "Do you ever watch this here?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna watch a fucking podcast."
He's
with
for
Johnny Adair."
full on wall punchers, like so he is.
Yeah.
But, it was funny the Johnny Adair one. I've only ever really seen clips of it, but he talks about getting shot at a UB40 concert.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh, he's like that guy James English. He's like, because he knows it's clickbait, like as well, and he's gonna
Do you
get
think
up.
so? I think he's just a genuine knuckle dragger. Like,
Yeah, well,
is that a racial term? I don't think it is. It's not a term for cavemen.
yeah. I remember some boy in Spain was showing me his rings. He was like an English boy. And he was like these rings. He went, "That'll keep your knuckles clean when you're dragging them up the road." And he was like raging, like. And I was like, my dad was like, "It's kind of racist." And I went,
I don't think
yeah,
it is.
it just means like you're caveman.
You're
You're
a
stupid,
caveman,
yeah. It's like
I hope so.
yeah,
Anyway,
because I was sitting
otherwise-
saying this in the podcast. He was like, no, he wasn't. He was like, it lived in English, but he was white, Rhodesian. So his family were chased out of Zimbabwe, but he's a white man
Right.
and has to go back because we were watching. He was number one. I hate rugby, like, so I was like, why the fuck am I watching the Rugby World Cup? And he was just telling me all this and then just showing me. Like I wear a pinky ring my grand to give me, but he was wearing like 4 sovereign rings in his hands. I was like, all right, mate, fucking reel it in, like.
Keep your fingers clean when you're dragging them.
Yeah.
That's a good joke to be fair.
Yeah.
But the James English he's himself is the full wall puncher, like you
Yeah.
can tell he is. But he's had. You ever see the clip? It's my favorite fucking thing ever. It's your man on it, and he goes, he probably might be one of the most stupid people I've ever seen. He goes, I've read the full Bible back to front so many times. Ask me a verse from the Bible, I'll tell you my favourite verse. And he goes, alright, what's your favourite verse from the Bible? And he goes, don't stop to pet every dog that barks at you. And that basically means you can't stop at every dog that barks at you.
Yeah, it's fucking yeah.
It's not even a Bible. It's from Winston Churchill made that.
Yeah. No, it's what was that guy? Was he like an ex-criminal or was he?
I think he's a rapper now, but he's a former criminal. Yeah. Just a big fucking
unit, like yeah,
fucking. But big, he's not a brain cell between him, but he's got full-on turkey teeth.
Like, they've had people on, and I'm like, fair play, he's given this person a platform. But then he's also got people on like Katie Hopkins.
Yeah.
Like, what did he have? Fucking what's her name? Carrie Gatone on talking about OnlyFans and all.
He did all right.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the photo of her?
Her hand down her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
It's like, me and the men getting into a festival to get my gear in.
Right down.
Yeah. I was like,
fucking horrific.
boy, I live with in uni, Dave. Like, just send me stuff. Like, I'm interested in this. Like, remember when Will Smith, his wife cheated on him?
Yeah.
Thing? He like rang me one night, and it was middle of lockdown. He was, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. I don't give a fuck, man. But it was he sent me like, I'm interested to hear your thoughts about Carrie Gatone doing OnlyFans. That's not even crossed my mind, lad. But also, do you have a link?
She does she still do it?
I was on last night and haven't checked. I don't know. I still see it on Twitter. Like, Twitter's become actually it is now. It's just become this fucking cesspit that I should really get off. But also,
I can't get, because sometimes I go on, I'm like, I like this, but then other times I go on, I'm like, are they trying to make me into a Nazi?
Yeah.
Because it's like just, but it's I think it's like they want you to see stuff you don't like, and I'm getting a lot of stuff I don't like, which is like racist stuff and like my Instagram now today has been very anti-Semitic, so it has.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Holocaust deniers have been coming up on my Instagram, but then I'm like, is it because they think I like it, or is it because they want to make me annoyed? Do you know what I mean?
I think one time I've clicked on it, going, why the fuck is that coming up my feed? And then like, my mate, show me his, and it was like, he keeps getting fucking he keeps getting fucking AI granny shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I am getting another one. I'm getting is a lot of stuff about people having sex with their pet turtles.
And I've got that yet. I've got a lot of.
It's insane. Some of the things that are coming out.
Dwarfs who are missing limbs, I get, and I'm like, what the fuck?
OnlyFans ones as well.
Just looking at it, going, where's the link to pay? No, it's fucking, it grums me out a wee bit. Like, I try, like, the annoying thing with stand up is that you have to be on social media quite a lot. Like, because even like for like organizing gigs to promote it and stuff, and then you just get sucked into this. And like, I wish I wasn't like. I wish I wasn't like concerned about Instagram followers or this or that.
But you sort of have to be as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you're kind of like at 10k, you can kind of start to fucking.
Yeah.
I think you get your blue tick then.
you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, and stuff, and you can do sort of more, and like it's easier to sell events and stuff like that there. Which is like, it's annoying, but it has to be done. Like,
see, I have mine separate. I have a separate Instagram from a normal one.
Yeah.
And the only reason it was fat is I followed way too many people whenever I was like horny and 15.
Yeah.
So like all these fucking OnlyFans models and everything. And I just don't want people seeing that on the comedy page.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's easier to sort of like track how well you're doing, I think, by having it separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I never had Instagram until like I was maybe second year of uni, and then so by the time that I started comedy, I only had about 200 followers anyway, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just but and then only like I started noticing, I was like, oh, I need to get a follower here, and then this person follow you, and then you kind of become a wee bit obsessed with it, and I was like, right, you need to step back and fucking just enjoy it. Like,
you use TikTok as well, don't you, to promote your stuff?
Yeah, but I'm more use Instagram's more sort of.
I think it's probably better for stand up.
Yeah, you can connect with people a lot easier and stuff, and
yeah,
because I remember the first time I met Shane saw me. I messaged him after and stuff, and then he sent me like a tag for a joke, and I was like, oh shit, there's me having a conversation with a guy that, it's like, idolize like and stuff.
He liked my I think I said about it in Kill Toddy, but he was like, I've never seen you before, and I was like, well, you actually did like my TikTok video. It was the same joke that I did at Kill Toddy. So it was a safe bet to do that one, to be fair.
No, he's like one of the things that is good about, and it's, you wouldn't get it in any other industry, is that in comedy the bottom meets the top pretty quickly, like where like you would like, so like if say you need a lineup and you need someone filled, and you're like, well, it's an open spot, you'll give it to someone, and then next thing you know, like I remember my like fifth gig, I was gigging with like William, Aaron Butler, and I think it was like Mark McCartney or something, all on the one lineup and all, just because he needed someone to do 5 minutes, and then he was like, "Do you want to just jump on and do this? I'm not paying you." Like,
yeah.
And it was like that's how it kind of. Like I didn't realise how quickly. I was like, it'll be a couple of years before I meet like Gaddis or Shane or them.
Yeah.
And you meet them quite quickly. Like
it is pretty quick, as you say. Like I've only been doing it like 2 years, and then I was on Shane's podcast yesterday, which felt a bit mental. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's like I remember my second gig. It was a University of Ulster thing, and I arrived and I expected like to fucking see like the big acts to be there at the end, and I walked in. It was like just sat in the green room, like
sat
Dave
there,
and Jordy, and stuff. And it was. And then one thing that I've tried to stop doing is you need to start seeing them as mates rather than like, oh, these are big acts.
Them,
yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's guys that you get on with and stuff. Yeah,
and you're all doing the same sort of thing anyway. Do you know what I mean?
I mean the main thing is if you're sound, you get by pretty.
Yeah, and if you're a wanker, fuck you.
Yeah. There's like a lot of acts who probably came out of the gate swinging, but they're also
just not nice people.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Adam about this, Adam Byrne, at Kiltoddy, and it's like there's some fucking characters in the comedy scene. Yeah, and I don't know if it's because of because it's like a small city, or I don't know what it is like or why it is, but it is fucking interesting. But although it might be the same wherever you go, like in America or England or whatever, you know, the fucking there are some interesting characters.
Well, like I spoke like Jack McGee about it. He started in that's the sequel. That's not me.
Far away.
Jack started in 2017, 2018, and he says like the amount of comedians since then is like tripled.
Yeah.
So he goes, so there's always like one or two characters. Well, he's like, now there's fucking loads of like people like you, like. Yeah. And again, like characters are good, like, but then every now and then you'll get someone who'll come up and say the most right wing mental thing, and you're like, whoa, where the fuck's this come from? Like,
you were telling me about your mom the other day.
Yeah.
He said something fucking, I won't repeat it obviously.
And I was sitting going, yeah, Jesus. And you kind of take a step back and go, but that's sort of what's good is that a lot of people go, well, you're starting out, you're allowed to make these mistakes, but if you keep going and you want to say this awful stuff, then you're like, right, well, he actually means that.
Some people have that idea in their head where like, I want to be able to make jokes about this thing, even though you probably can't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
There's a guy, I don't know, I sort of debate went on where it was like, oh, you just can't say anything these days. I'm like, what is so groundbreaking that you want to say that like what's going to change the face of like comedy that you can't say yet that you're going to say? And it's like, because you need to sort of like there are a lot of topics that I remember I wanted to make a joke about, like being in London and going to meet my mate, and like a guy threw himself in front of a train and we were stuck on the tube for ages and just ruined my evening. So there's a bit like selfish bastard and all. And then I was kind of like, I tried to make that joke and it got nothing. I was like, because I'm not a skilled enough act to make that joke. Yeah, and take it to that level where you can get away, and you need to be like
Louis C.K. gets away with it because he's Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Gets away with a lot because he's Louis C.K. mind you.
Because people are like, oh, like I think a lot of people, and myself included, almost when we started, it was like you move quite quickly in comedy, and then you really have to like dig your heels in and work harder. Like, and in my head, I went, oh well, I'll do a solo show here, and then I'll get to like a level. Like maybe close to like McKegney or William or something like that. Yeah. And I was, no, you need to fucking work for it. Like you don't see the 12 years that Shane and Mickey weren't.
Yeah, weren't at the top of their game.
They were working like fucking like. I mean, I was speaking to Shane about it, and he was saying like going to like change machines and stuff to get like money for petrol and all, and So, it's that idea of like, and like he was sort of saying that to you as well yesterday in the pod that he misses it a wee bit, but. I love this period.
Yeah, I'd fucking say you do, Shane. Sitting there in your fucking studio. I'm here in my kitchen, by the way. I know you're not watching. I'm sure you are fucking missing it in your lovely Hollywood studio. I'm sitting here in my kitchen, whatever this fucking thing is.
The toner,
here, with fucking multi-pack tins of Pepsi Max. You want to see the bottles of water they had on deck in there? Decorations and all. I've got a fucking air fryer in here. I'm sure you do missing driving to fucking Oma and Derry and everything.
See, to be fair, like there are. Some of the, if you're in a car with like guys who you get on well with, it's unbelievable crack. Like
I suppose that would be a good time to end it, just because we're going over the hour here.
Oh, no, it's food,
but it's been an absolute pleasure, Ciaran.
Thank you very much.
What do you want to plug?
No joke, May 8th. Please come to it because I won't get a chance to do many sketches in between to promote it. And Beehive. By the time this comes out, May 30th. Tim McGarry. Fraser Robb, Soupy Campbell, Cahir O'Hagan, and someone else that I've forgotten, but they'll be good. Don't worry. Ciaran Franco. Oh, Ian McAway, that's who it is.
And obviously Ciaran Franco Comedy.
Yes, on Instagram. Please give me a follow if you've enjoyed this today.
We'll be back in the Duns Dallas Social Club on the 13th of June. Kieran's going to be there. We've got Tommy McCarthy headlining. We've got Daniel Houston, Adam Byrne, Now I'm forgetting who the other one is. Johnny Bow, of course, and then Ian Thompson will be your MC, and of course me and Ciaran are going to be there. Tickets are actually on my Instagram bio, I think. If you're from the Stone Age, there are tickets in the bar. If you're a regular in the Duns, which I don't think anyone will be watching this would be. And I'm in Derry on the 29th of May at Chicken Box Comedy at Bannigan's Bar. And as always, follow me on Instagram or something.
Excellent. See you then.
Thanks very much.